Tony Kelly from the Fitness Clinic here in Dalkey. This morning I just want to talk about intensity, frequency and time. So that's when you're doing your exercise programs, how many repetitions that you do, how heavy you lift and how often that you're going to do that. So it's fairly broad, but ideally you want to be doing some kind of resistance training twice a week, and this should be incorporated into a cardiovascular program and some stretching exercises as well that will be involved in that. So we're going to do twice a week, so depending on the exercises and the level that you want to train at, twice a week, and that should be spread out. So possibly a Tuesday and followed by a 72-hour rest, and then train on Friday. Now that's very, very broad depending on what you want to achieve. Some people might train resistance wise every day, where they will work their back one day, and then the next day they do legs, the next day they do chest, the next day they do core. So it's a very, very broad range, but generally twice a week working out hard is sufficient for the average person out in the streets and such. So the first one is the exercise. So how many repetitions? So we call that a repetition. How many repetitions should we do? And ideally we talk about working to failure. So if I was to choose push-ups, for example, so if I do push-ups, how many push-ups do I do? If I just do one easy, that's not going to create any kind of torque on my system, it's not going to create any stress on my system. So I need to be able to do repetitions until I fail, so I can't do any more. So that could be 5 for some people, it should be 10 for other people, it could be 50 for other people if you're just doing body weight exercises. Because if I choose this dumbbell here, which is 1 kilo, and I want to do arm curls, by doing that exercise I'm not creating enough stress within the body. So I need to choose a weight that's going to create enough resistance in order to put stress on my body. And ideally, the figure that you should be aiming for is no more than 15 repetitions. Because if you do 25 repetitions, remember the goal is to increase muscle tone. So to increase muscle tone, we must put enough stress on the system to grow, tone, tighten that muscle in the body depending on what you want to achieve. So repetition wise, roughly around 15, no more than 15. If you're going for pure strength, you might talk about repetitions of 2 or 3. Okay? And then set wise, how many sets do we do? Sets is repetitions times 1, 2 or 3. So you've done your 15 repetitions, how many times would you do that? So depending on what you're trying to achieve again, you might do up to 6 sets. However, for a beginner, I would start off with just doing 1 set, and then the following week you do 2 sets, following week you build up to 3 sets. So that's the general gist of the intensity, the time, and the amount of exercises that you would do in a workout. So thank you, Tony Kelly from the Fitness Clinic.